In recent years, shark attacks have become increasingly rare, but their terrifying nature still captivates our attention. One such attack that sent shockwaves through the world was the brutal shark attack on Robert Pamperin. In August 1959, Pamperin, a 32-year-old real estate agent, was scuba diving in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of California when he was suddenly attacked by a great white shark. Despite his valiant efforts to fight off the predator, Pamperin suffered severe injuries that ultimately proved fatal. This tragic incident brought renewed attention to the dangers of shark attacks and sparked a wave of public interest in these awe-inspiring yet terrifying creatures of the deep. Before moving to the main part, subscribe to our channel now and also hit the bell icon. This horrible event brings us to the famous coastal landmark known as the Alligator Head, which may be found at the western end of La Jolla Cove in the city of San Diego, California. What was supposed to be a tranquil diving session between two friends changed into a dreadful nightmare in the blink of an eye when a big great white shark came beneath, while Robert Pamperin and his friend Gerard Lair were free diving in the deep waters of Alligator Head. This is the terrifying shark attack that resulted in Robert Pamperin being swallowed the whole. Welcome to Final Affliction Foreign. One of the most well-known tourist destinations in Foreign is La Jolla Cove, a small cove surrounded by high rocky cliffs. It has become an excellent location for scuba diving, swimming, and snorkeling thanks to its wealth of marine life and its colder, crystal clear water. This is the terrifying shark attack that resulted in Robert Pamperin being swallowed whole. This is the terrifying shark attack that, in addition, the water clarity here can sometimes be greater than 30 feet, which draws divers from all across Southern California. Large and powerful swells from the open ocean can sometimes come in during high tides. There is only a small area of dry sand on the beach, but the tide pools in the cove are exposed during shallow tides. However, despite the popularity and beauty of the cove, it has a murky history that dates back to June 1959, when it was the site of one of the most horrific shark attacks in San Diego. It was on June 14, 1959, that an event involving California's Alligator Head took place a little distance off La Jolla Cove. Robert Pamperin was up early on a Sunday when most people were happy to sleep in on their day off. Peering through his windows, he noticed that the weather was slightly not in his favor. It was a bad day to be in the ocean. Nevertheless, Robert and his friend Gerard had planned for this day for quite some time. They were planning on hunting for abalone later in the day. Abalones are huge marine gastropod mollusks that are found in the chilly waters of Niue. The large sea snail is most commonly seen off the coast of Japan and the west coast of North America. Abalones are prized for their exquisite meat and exceptionally rich flavor, making them a culinary delicacy. It is one of the forms of seafood that is the most expensive that can be purchased, and it can be sold for a high price in a variety of formats, including canned, frozen, or live in the shell. Since abalones are nocturnal animals, they prefer to avoid lit areas by hiding in the dark during the daytime and feeding at night. Since Robert and Gerard wanted to sell some of their catch for a reasonable price, they knew there was a thriving abalone population in the deeper parts of the Alligator Head. However, since abalones are typically nocturnal animals, this meant that they had to continue hunting later in the day. To help fill the time in the afternoon, the two friends decided after Robert and his girlfriend finished preparing everything. They got into their car and made their way to the beach at La Jolla Cove. The sun was still overcast, but every once in a while it would peek through the clouds. The outing could have been easily cancelled, but there was still a chance of finding abalone. After Robert parked his vehicle, he went over to meet Gerard and his girlfriend. The two shook hands and shared laughs as they conversed about the weather and, of course, the hunt that would take place later. In the meantime, their respective girlfriends caught up with one another. Next, the four individuals went to the beach and spent time as they normally would. They had a front row seat for the breathtakingly beautiful San Diego Ocean. After all, who wouldn't want to enjoy a nice relaxing Sunday like? When the men had finished collecting a few abalones, they surfaced for some oxygen and took a breath of fresh air. Unfortunately, fate had other plans for them that day because, for some reason, the two became separated by the waves. Gradually but surely, Robert and Gerard drifted apart until there were 10 to 15 meters between them. Suddenly, a great white shark appeared underneath Robert and began swinging its formidable head back and forth. The shark was assessing Robert as if he were one of its. Gerard swiftly made his way in the direction of his friend Robert. As he arrived, he observed that Robert was in trouble, but assumed that he was suffering from a cramp. However, Gerard hurried to his friend's aid, but he noticed that something wasn't quite right. Gerard was astonished and in full astonishment when he saw that Robert had abruptly vanished into the seas, leaving behind a scarlet mist of blood. Gerard dove deeper into the water to see what was happening to Robert, and there it was in plain and perfect view. A large great white shark that was completely consuming Robert's lower body. Gerard estimated the creature to be around 7 meters in length. Robert thrashed wildly, trying to free himself from the marauding beast. However, it was to no avail. The shark's power overwhelmed him, and it quickly took him to deep waters. Gerard took a deep breath and quickly rushed towards the commotion, waving his hands frantically at the shark in an attempt to scare it away. However, it was to no avail. Gerard tried to save. Suddenly, the enormous shark began swinging its head from side to side in an attempt to tear Robert in half. Realizing that he wasn't doing anything to the creature, Gerard swam back to the shore and alerted the lifeguards, who then alerted the local authorities of the attack. Immediately after Robert's attack, 10 experienced scuba divers dove into the area searching for the robber. However, after searching the waters for 2 hours, they ended up finding nothing. Not even people were skeptical of Gerard, but his statement was supported by William Abbott, who was atop a rock formation when the attack happened. William Abbott's testimony was congruent with Gerard's, but people were still skeptical that it was a great white shark that had attacked Robert. They wanted to believe that it was a killer whale, but Gerard was sure he saw a great white. Investigations revealed 4 crucial events happening beforehand that may have contributed to Robert's gruesome death. First, divers were spearing yellowtail less than 2 hours before. It was claimed that attack sharks were attracted to the speared fish and the low-frequency vibrations caused by the disturbance. Second, many hours before the assault, a sailor from the United States Navy had severely cut himself on the rocks that were nearby. As a result, he shed a significant amount of blood when he was swimming in the ocean, which further attracted the shark to the region. Thirdly, some 600 meters to the west of the cove was a group of harbor seals sitting atop some rocks. Rocks, the fourth cause, is almost certainly the factor that had the most impact in causing the attack. The night before the attack, a dead whale washed up on the shore 800 meters to the north of where Robert was attacked. The whale's bodily fluids may have been too widely disseminated by surface currents and winds, which may have drawn unwanted attention from the shark, ultimately causing the gruesome fate of Robert. In November of 1960, more than a year after Robert's attack, geologists were able to recover the skeleton of a man at the bottom of a submarine canyon. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give this video a big thumbs up and do share it with your family and friends. Thanks for watching.